From Careco TV, one of the longest running outdoor programs on television today, exploring the country and the coast in search of adventures. From the mountains of the Great Northwest to the shores of the Atlantic Ocean, this is Americana Outdoors, presented by Garmin. This week on Americana Outdoors, Garmin and Ranger boats have outdone themselves once again, and we're taking a behind-the-scenes peek at Wade Middleton's brand new Ranger2360, decked out from bow to stern with Garmin Electronics. First, let's head over to the Garmin headquarters and see what it took to build this beast of a boat.
So today we're here at Garmin HQ and we're rigging up Wade's Ranger2360. Today was kind of a planning day. We had a whole pallet worth of product that we pulled off and we started doing unboxing. We also started doing schematic drawings, so trying to figure out what size wire we're gonna pull and really understanding how this boat was rigged at the factory. We've got two 1243s, those are gonna go on the console of the boat. And then in the front we have a beat down outdoors mount that we're gonna put a 1643 inch on. We got a 63-inch white Kraken that's going to go on the front, and we're going to put our saltwater transducer on it, the XR transducer, so that's going to allow us to see a little bit farther when you guys go offshore and you're red fishing. And then we've got a 18-inch radar that's going to go on top, and then a huge list of Fusion audio equipment. So it's cool to kind of see all this come together, and I'm really excited to see everything from that table when it gets on the boat. Alrighty, well we just launched the boat, everything went smoothly, so now I'm going to go ahead and break down all the products that are on this boat. So to start out, we're going to start in the front. We have a 63-inch white Kraken. On the bottom of the Kraken, we have an LVS 62, which is our saltwater live scope. With Wade taking this out on the coast of Texas, he's going to be in a little bit deeper water. It's going to be nicer to have a transducer that can shoot a little bit deeper and a little bit further. We also have a deck mount stabilizer right there. It'll keep that trolling motor stowed. I'll go ahead and drop it down for us here. Go up front, hit the foot pedal, swing it forward. Now it's good to rock and roll. The next thing that we're gonna cover in the front of the boat is a 16-inch GPS map 1643. It's on a really cool beat down outdoors mount. It allows us to grab the unit and unloosen these screws here. We can bring it up, and it actually has another level right here where you can bring it even a little bit higher. So that way, when you're out on the water, it takes it a little bit higher, and if you're swinging any sort of lures, it keeps it up out of the way, which is super nice, and we've got some really good cable management back here to kind of keep everything out of the way. We're gonna move down here and we're gonna look at our Fusion speakers. We have a pair of 8.8-inch Fusion Signature Series speakers right here. Along with those two 8.8-inch speakers, we have four 6.5-inch Signature Series. And then if you look over on the back here, we have a 10-inch sub, and they made us a custom box for it. So it's able to be back here when you're sitting on this bench seat. You can really feel the music and really feel the vibrations, and it's a really, really great audio equipment for this boat. Back up in the front here on the boat, as we open up this compartment, there's several things inside of here that we're gonna look at. We've got an 8-channel Apollo amplifier for the Fusion system. We also have a 3-channel Spectra lighting module. It allows us to control the lights on the speakers, and as it gets darker, you'll really be able to see the speakers light up, and it's a really cool feature that we just added. A couple other things that are in here, as you notice, there's two GMS 10s. Those are our networking boxes. So all of the units that are on this boat are gonna go into that, and they're gonna allow us to really have the whole boat talk to each other. And then underneath the GMS 10s is the GLS 10, which is what that 62 hooks into to give us that live scope image. Alrighty, as we move from the front of the boat to the console, we'll start up here in the top. This is a VHF radio. It's the VHF 215 AIS, so it's a VHF radio that also has AIS capabilities, so we can see AIS targets when we're out on the water. We also have the Fusion RA770 head unit, so we can control the music from up here, and we can also control it on these chart plotters down here. And as we move down, we have a 1243 GPS map and a 1243 XSV GPS map that are right next to each other. The reason we ran GPS maps on this Ranger is because it's going to be a saltwater boat, and so it allows us to hook into the radar and also into our GXM weather antenna. and that's why we chose GPS maps for this setup. Underneath the 1243s, we've got the Yamaha CL5, which is gonna give us all of our Yamaha engine data right on the front of the dash, which is super handy to have when you're looking at engine pressure and all sort of engine data as you kind of walk through that. One of the really cool things about having the power pole integration on this 1243 is the ability to move the power poles with the touch of a button. Right now we're on our chart screen, and if I hit one button, I can bring both power poles up. And with another single press of the button, I can put them right back down. Another really cool thing we added is we have a USB card reader where we can put all of our SD cards in without having to access the back of the units. With a seamless helm like this, the SD cards are actually on the back. That way it's more of a seamless design. And that's just another thing that makes it even easier to access all of your charts and also your waypoints or any kind of user data like that. All right, as we move to the back of the boat, I'm gonna cover the two transducers that we have on this boat. That black puck, that is a GT15M in-hole transducer. It's just traditional 2D sonar. It's gonna allow us to read at a little bit higher speeds. So when Wade's out on the coast and he's driving a little bit faster with this 300 Yamaha, it's gonna be able to give us a depth reading. That way, if for whatever reason, if the water's a little shallow in a certain area, Wade will be able to see on the screen the water's only 3 feet and he'll be able to change his direction. On the back, we have a GT36 UHD. That transducer just does side view and clear view. The reason we have these two transducers together is they have a Y cable. That Y cable comes together and goes into just one of the screens. So that way we don't have two sonar compatible units. We're just running both transducers into one unit, and that's gonna share across the entire network. All right, as we get up to the T-top, last but not least, we have our GMR Phantom 18X radar. We have it on a 5-inch riser to get up above this light bar. The last two things I'm gonna show you are the GXM54. This is a Sirius XM antenna, which is gonna give us weather and fish mapping. When you're out on the coast, it'll kind of show where the fish are moving based off of different weather patterns. So that's gonna really come into play out on the coast. Last thing we got is this VHF antenna. That's gonna hook into our 215 AIS, and it's gonna allow us to see AIS targets, and it's also going to allow us to talk to other boaters as we're out on the water. Alrighty, so that was just a quick breakdown of all the great Garmin products that we've put on this Ranger 2360, and when you pair a really great boat with some really great electronics, you're bound to have some success.
We'll return to the water in just a moment, but in the meantime, take this opportunity to subscribe to our Americana Outdoors YouTube channel. Since its debut at ICAST in 2023, the Kraken trolling motor has been a force to be reckoned with on the water. Let's learn more about how to set up this revolutionary equipment to make you as efficient as possible when you're fishing.
Some of the great features on this 63-inch white Kraken to kind of highlight is this saltwater transducer. This is the LVS 62, it's our XR transducer. Some of the improvements we did, we actually have where the live scope actually goes through the shaft of the trolling motor. So as you deploy and stow it, you don't have to worry about the live scope cable getting caught in anything. Another really cool feature with this Kraken is the prop actually reverses, so the head doesn't have to spin around to actually back the boat into anchor lock. Another great feature of this trolling motor is if we look at the head of it, it has a multi-band GPS in it, which gives us even better anchor lock when we drop it in. So I'm gonna go ahead and deploy this trolling motor. You're gonna see how easy it is to deploy it. This is the deck mount stabilizer. This allows us when we're in rough water, don't have to worry about the trolling motor bouncing. It's another safety feature just to make sure when you get in some big waves, you don't have to worry about it going anywhere.
Now, let's learn how to calibrate the trolling motor compass in order to use anchor lock.
So with the remote, you're gonna come into your settings menu. You're gonna scroll over to trolling motor, scroll down to calibrate. We're gonna go to compass. It's gonna adjust the trolling motor. Right now it's going through its calibration, and then we're gonna turn the boat in 2 circles, and that will set the GPS on it. So now we're gonna start the calibration, and we're gonna turn the head of the trolling motor at almost 4 o'clock. Set the speed dial about halfway, and we're gonna turn the circles until we get to 100% on the calibration. So this is important so that when you put your trolling motor into anchor mode, this will hold your spot out on the water. We're just about there. As soon as it hits 100%, Now we'll hit the down arrow, and then we'll go ahead, stop the circles, we'll hit anchor lock. And this will set us, this will give you your distance from where you're set at anchor, and the calibration is complete. We're going to set the bow offset today on the trolling motor, and this way we will have it set according to the way it is mounted on the trolling motor. If your trolling motor is set a little to the right or to the left, we want to get the head facing in the correct direction, so we may have to set it a little bit off to the side. So what you're going to do is you're going to go back into our settings, going to scroll over to trolling motor, calibrate, and we're going to do a bow offset. And this is going to set the head of the trolling motor where the head is pointing straight with the bow forward. Going to set it. It's going to come up and it's going to tell you the bow is set, and that is it. So the bow offset's important. If you take and you pair the trolling motor to your graph as you're navigating and you want to set a route with the trolling motor, that way your bow offset is set and it's going to follow the route correctly on there.
We'll return to the water in just a moment, but in the meantime, take this opportunity to subscribe to our Americana Outdoors YouTube channel.
So now we're going to show you the feature of hand gesture with the remote control here. So we're going to go into settings, and then as soon as you go into settings, you're going to go over to remote control, and then you're going to go into calibrate. So you have to calibrate the handheld to be able to use the gestures. So we're going to go in, you've got to take, and we're going to turn it. For the first one, we're going to come and we're going to take and flip it to the next one. And then to finish off, you're going to take and we're going to roll it. So now that our remote is calibrated, we're going to be able to take and use hand gestures with it. So you're going to push down on the M, and you're going to be able to take and you're going to be able to turn it by just holding that down. So one of the other features that we have with the Kraken is the foot pedal. We have the momentary switch right here, which engages the prop. We have the speed dial right here, which operates from 0 to 20 in speed. We have the heading hold, which takes and gives you the straight direction in the heading that you're going. We have the constant button, which this here engages the prop and the prop stays on. Then we have the anchor mode right here, which sets the anchor on the Kraken. So another thing we want to get done is we want to pair the trolling motor with the unit. So we're going to go to home, and we're going to go to settings, and then you're going to go to communications, and we're going to go to wireless devices. And here you see where it has trolling motor. We're going to hit trolling motor, and over here on the trolling motor, you hit the power button 3 quick times. 1, 2, 3. You'll see the top light will turn blue, then we're going to hit start. So now we are paired with it. So we're going to come in here to the screen that we are on. You're going to go to options. We're going to go to your overlays. We're going to put it on the top bar, and then you're going to find trolling motor, exit out, and now you have all your controls for the trolling motor at the top, and they're right here at the touch of a hand. So now that we've got everything paired, what we're going to do is we're going to set a waypoint out here, and we're going to show you how the Kraken will take and follow the route to that waypoint, and then as soon as we come close to it, it'll go into anchor and set us on that waypoint. We've got our waypoint set here. We're going to come up here, we're going to go route to go, we're going to go done, and then we're going to hit the engage. And it's going to take, and now we're going to follow our route. As you can see, it's got a little flag here at the ending, and the Kraken's getting the boat itself aligned with the trail there. So now We are near our point, so it has switched into anchor. So we're gonna stop. And now the Kraken has gone into the anchor mode because we are at the end of our destination.
We'll return to the water in just a moment, but in the meantime, take this opportunity to subscribe to our Americana Outdoors YouTube channel. Now it's time to join Wade as he launches his Ranger2360 in the water for the very first time. For this trip, he took his longtime buddy, Jeff Reynolds, along for the ride.
Oh, look at him up on the bank. Oh. I'm just gonna get up there to him, hit spot lock.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the advantage of having power.
Yeah.
I mean, that bunch he come up there with a bunch.
Right off the bat, Wade went on a tear and hooked the honorary first fish in the new boat.
Got him. Oh,
I hear the sound of braid.
Fish on.
Shortly followed by fish 2, fish 3,
Had a little bit of fight to him.
and fish 4. Leave some fish for Jeff, Wade.
You're about to tear your mouth. Oh boy, you got shad in your mouth. You can see what he's been eating.
Full of shad. Yep.
Oh, that's what he's eating right there.
Let's check in with Wade and see what he's been throwing to entice so many fish to his line.
Very simple fishing right here. Soft plastic, mimic a shad. I don't even have a leader. I'm tying this one directly to my All Might little Gamakatsu jig head. These fish school, they're so aggressive. They're such a ferocious feeding, schooling fish. When you see them schooling or you see big groups of them on your electronics, you can get a variety of baits out there. We're just basically throwing at them, schooling on eating shad and jumping out of the water, and little bitty soft plastics and a jig head, and getting up there and catching them. Really the main thing is a sharp hook. Good eyes, I guess. There we go. Just that simple. Got him.
Oh,
I got him. I lost $1. It might be a stick.
that's possible.
I saw a swirl. That's a little better one.
Oh yeah. Good eating size right there.
Yeah, one to be filleted.
Sand bass.
Dandy. Oh, I thought they were jumping. It was your fish. I was all excited. I was getting ready to fire out there. Had me excited. Opinion.
Oh. Ow. Little fin in the thumb. Oh.
Got him. Same spot you caught yours. Go poach your hole.
Yeah, dude. Kind of poached yours. You caught the first one.
Thank you for giving me credit for that 1 incher. That might be the smallest fish I've ever actually hooked in the mouth. Oh, look at you.
You can drag the school up there by the boat.
After reeling in those last few fish, the day started winding down. Let's see what Wade and Jeff thought of their first day out on the Ranger2360.
That was a good afternoon of fun fishing, playing with a new boat, and having a good time with friends right there.
Yep. It's fun just having something tug on your line.
Oh man, when they school and you throw out and 2 or 3 of them tap, tap, tap. I mean, I caught some of the littlest fish I've ever caught in my life. I thought it was just a blast. I mean, some of them wasn't that big, you're hitting it in the mouth.
Yep.
Such a ferocious, feeding, frenzy type fish. You can lift them up and stuff goes flying out of the mouth. It's crazy.
They're fun to catch. Fun for kids, grown-ups.
Yeah.
They're fun. I enjoy catching.
I do too. I'll never get tired of catching them. Started fishing for them as a little kid in Hickory Creek, Lake Murray, and over here in Texoma. I will fish for them until I can't fish anymore.
Absolutely.
And they're good to eat too.
Yes, they are.
Thanks for following along as we walk through all of the exciting new gear Garmin has to offer. Be sure to head over to our Americana Outdoors YouTube channel to find even more great tutorials for how to set up your Garmin Electronics so you can have the best time on the water as possible and start catching those fish. Hey, thank you for watching, and join us again next week on a new episode of Americana Outdoors. Americana Outdoors is a Careco TV production.